Hello， 大家咁多位好。
Hello, welcome back to the channel.
Hi， 多謝你睇波師傅時間啊。OK， 嗱，好快脆又到2023年嘅兔年咯喎。
So today we're going to actually talk about the new year, 2023, the year of the rabbit.
OK， 咁咧我今次咧就係講12生肖嘅。
So we're going to talk about the 12 zodiacs.
OK， 咁如果睇開我節目嘅朋友都知道咧，我通常咧我會由老鼠開始講起嘅。
So those who've watched our previous videos know that we start with the year of the rat.
OK， 今年老鼠年咧都係幾豐富嘅。
So this year for the year of a rat, it's a pretty good year.
不過咧就今年就刑太歲啦。咁咧，但係就唔緊要嘅，事關咧刑太歲啫。但係咧，今年嘅感情都幾豐富下嘅。
So there is a little bit of a hiccup in terms of where this year may not be the most perfect year, but it's okay because this year romance, for those of the year of the rat, it's going to be blooming.
事關咧老鼠咧，今年咧有幾個靚嘅星啦。
So there's a couple of nice stars for the year of the rat.
OK， 嗱，我就唔講咩星啦，事關睇翻我都知㗎啦。咁今年咧有3個靚嘅吉星。
So we're not going to mention specifically which stars in all of them, but there are 3 we're going to talk about.
咁咧但係有2個麻煩少少嘅凶星啦。
Although there's 3 really good ones, there's also 2 that we got to be careful about.
OK， 嗱，咁今年屬鼠嘅人咧就有一個紅鸞啦。咁有天德啦，同埋有一個如果做官嘅就最啱嘅星啦，就財星嚟嘅。
So for those of the year of the rat, this year we mentioned about a blooming, romance life possibly. And then there's one specifically for those that if you work in the field of life, for example, in the government or any position of power in the government, it's a good star for you this year.
嗱，事關今年屬兔啦，咁老鼠同兔咧基本上係相刑嘅。
So this year is the coming year of the rabbit, and rabbit and mouse are practically almost like in line with one another.
所以今年咧，你又留意下你自己跟住你揾食嘅夥計啦。
So this year, if you are a boss and born in the year of the rat, pay attention to your subordinates.
事關咧，佢哋有機會會出賣你嘅。
Because there's a good chance they might betray you.
OK， 咁咧身體上咧就應該就今年2023年咧就影響都唔會好大嘅。
So in terms of health, there's not really many big issues for you for the upcoming year.
不過咧，頭先我先講有2個唔係咁靚嘅星啦。OK， 咁所以咧留意屋企嘅老人家啦。
So although for you personally, there's nothing bad that's really per se going to happen, but we did mention previously that there are 2 stars in your alignment, and so therefore be careful of the elders in your home.
OK， 咁喺工作上邊咧，就你咧就要留意下啦。點解咧？你今年咧有一個咧，我哋好中意講人是非嘅星喺你嘅身度。
So as mentioned before, where you have to be careful of your subordinates, for this year, if you are born in the year of the rat, be mindful of those that work around you, because this year there is a star that does bring gossip and backstabbing around you.
所以咧，你今年咧係好容易俾人哋講你是非啊，講你壞話啊成嘅。
So this year you will notice a lot more people will be gossiping about you, talking about you, even if you've done nothing wrong.
不過唔緊要嘅。事關咧，你今年咧本身有嗰3個靚嘅星咧，都可以同你可以化咗好多樣嘢嘅。
But this is not to fret because you still have 3 really good stars that can help you minimize that damage.
OK， 喺財運方面啦，咁咧你就要留意一下，就投機性啊，即係投機嘅生意啊，成咧就要小心少少啦。雖然你個財運都幾高。
So in terms of wealth this year, if you are taking part in any business where you have a, your fortune put into it, be a little bit careful because it might not go as smoothly as you want it to.
係啦，即係如果你投機股票啊、證券啊成咧，就小心少少啦。雖然財運會好，但係都要留意多啲。
Right.
要做多啲功課啦。
So if you are into stocks and you play stocks, you can continue. Just got to be extra careful, do a little bit of homework. Wealth for you this year though wouldn't be a big issue or a big concern.
OK， 喺感情方面咧，影響咧，其實咧你話有冇咧係有嘅。點解咧？你會有機會同你嘅愛女咁咧就因個好少嘅事會嘈交啦，又或者 有機會有第三個人同你或者同你嘅即係你嘅愛人講，咁令到你咧好容易有少少嘅嘢就會衝咗一個唔好嘅心態，就會令到佢鬧交啦。
So this year, in terms of your romance, it wouldn't be too bad or per se like too well because if you do have a partner, let's per se, and you usually get along really well, this year will be an easy year where there are easy misunderstandings, or you may find a third person telling your partner something about you, which will cause little fights and misunderstandings between the two of you.
雖然你有個紅連星，但係咧你本身有一個咁中意俾人同你講你是非嘅成星，咁令到你嘅感情性咧都會有啲問題嘅，所以大家都要留意少少啦。
Right, so we did say although your luck in romance isn't bad this year because in your element you do have a gossip star, so you have to be very wary and very mindful because people will be gossiping about you even to your partner.
OK 嗱，桃花大，但係男性咧今年咧就要小心少少啦，即係無風都三尺浪啦。OK， 雖然桃花大，但係都要注意下，尤其是喺異性方面。
So I did mention the romance part just prior. For male rats this year, you're gonna have a lot of possibly new interests, but you have to be very careful and very mindful of those around you. They may just be just interests and not the right one.
OK， 咁屬鼠嘅人咧，屬鼠嘅朋友今年成年嘅運程裏邊咧，喺1月、2月、3月、4月咧，都個財運都幾好嘅。
So for those born in the year of the rat this year, during January, February, March, and April, your wealth, you will notice, is pretty good.
OK， 咁喺家庭裏邊容易嘈交咧，就喺通常都會喺5、6月之間㗎啦。
And the easiest month for you to have fights or misunderstandings with your family will be May and June.
咁喺7月開始又轉翻好咯喎，事關你本身咧裏邊有一個幾靚嘅星啦，所以咧亦都令到你個財運啊、事業即係事每一樣嘢做生意又好、工作又好，都好順利嘅。
So although May and June may not be great, July your luck switches back where everything will go smoothly, your wealth will go smoothly, your relationships will also go smoothly.
係啦，咁跟住咧到8月啦、9月啦、10月啦、11月啦，啲工作啊或者係錢財都比較穩定咗啦，每一樣嘢都會比較好順。
So you will also realize in August, September, October, November that everything you're doing is going really smoothly, that your income or your wealth is stabilizing.
12月咧，你個紅鸞星就行得最快嘅，所以有機會咧，你係會結婚啦，或者例如生仔啊，即係做喜事。
So December is the month where that star of red, I guess, romance really falls, where if you're already in a relationship, it may be the month of the marriage or even proposal, or if you have a family currently and are hoping to give birth, that may also be the month you may give birth.
係啦，咁基本上喺鼠嘅生肖裏邊咧，個運程都幾好嘅，唔錯嘅。
So in terms of this year for the overall how the luck is this year for rats this coming year, it's not bad at all.
OK， 咁我哋講完鼠之後咧，我哋就講牛咯喎。
So after the year of the rat, we're going to talk about the year of the cow.
OK， 嗱，今年牛咧就即係都係嗰句啦，一粒吉星都冇嘅。
It's kind of unlucky if you're the year of the cow this year. Don't have a single lucky star.
咁仲要咧有啲唔好嘅星宿喺你個命宮裏邊啦。
Not only that, you got a couple of bad stars.
所以今年我建議你嘅先，即係我起碼講話俾你知就係建議你最好打一個3寸，即係3合啦。
So if you've watched our previous videos before, we recommend that you wear the 3J chain that we have recommended.
OK， 有個 video 會睇翻，即係有個相俾睇嘅。咁咧就係點戴咧？就係話老鼠、雞同蛇。
So we'll show you a photo of how that looks. How you're going to wear it is in the order of rat, chicken, and then the snake.
OK， 咁就加個八卦喺下邊啦。
And then in the end, you add a octagon bakwa underneath it.
OK， 嗱咁講健康方面啦。
So now we're going to talk about in terms of health the year of the cow.
咁咧就小心頭部啦，個頭部就係比較容易受傷嘅。想今年咧，你一個星咧就係專係對你個頭嘅，所以你個頭有好大機會會受傷。
So for those that are born in the year of the cow, this year be very mindful of your head because there is something in your element which makes it where your head is easily injured.
係啦，即係有機會眼啦、頭啦係會有好大機會會令到你去受傷，而令到你有一個生命嘅危險。
So be very caution of your eyes, your head, because it can lead to you acting out in ways where it can endanger your life.
事關咧喺裏邊咧，你仲有一粒咧叫做天狗。天狗嘅星咧，基本上咧亦都係等於主血光嘅，係所以係特別容易令到人受傷。咁 OK， 咁又跟住啦。頭先我先講嘢係天狗嘛。咁如果真係今年你有養動物嘅，或者你見到街邊嘅流浪狗，咁你就小心啲啦。
So the star this year, if I were to literally translate it, it'd be called a sky dog, which in Chinese, in the way we do the calculations, it's actually not a good star because it leads to you bleeding. So be very mindful of everything that you're doing, be extra cautious. And also because of the name, it says sky dog. If you do own a dog or you come across any stray dogs, be very, very, very careful.
OK， 咁喺工作方面啦喎。
So now we're going to talk about in terms of your career.
頭先我先講有隻天狗入咗你個命宮啦，所以咧你好容易做嘢咧，就係話你做嘢，人哋就得益啦。嗱，咁咧喺工作上咧，其實咧就係要加倍少少留心啦。其餘嘅嘢咧就應該就唔會好大嘅，就係話你好容易令到你受傷，同埋你工作上好容易俾你嘅最信得過嘅同事，令到你俾你嘅上司唔好印象。
So again, with the health, be very mindful, and also this year in terms of employment, it's not like a horrible year for you, but you have to be very mindful of those around you, especially people you trust. Not that they're going to betray you, but there might be times where they will throw you on the bus and make you take, the blame.
嗱，事關咧今年財運咧。都係嗰句啦，就係真係唔係咁好噶啦。咁小心破財啦，就唔好去咁大個投資啦。工作上就要小心啲啦。
So this year in terms of wealth, not so good. So our recommendation is maybe avoid playing the stock market, avoid having to spend reckless money such as gambling, avoid just all of that.
OK， 嗱，咁喺感情方面啦。咁咧，你今年嘅感情咧，其實咧亦都有一個唔好嘅星喺入邊，咁咧就令到你咧可以聚少離多啦，又形單隻影啦。咁如果冇拖拍嘅朋友咧，基本上你都係等翻出年啦。今年嗰個感情方面啊，或者揾對象嘅成日比較難少少嘅。
So this year for romance, unfortunately, not so good. If you are single, it's better to wait for next year and hopefully something better comes along. This year is not the year for you to be in a relationship because you might not be able to find one. For those in a relationship, it's a rough year.
係啦，如果結咗婚嘅朋友咧，就留意下另外一半啦。事關咧，你今年嗰啲星咧會令到你咧有啲破裂啊，有啲唔係咁好嘅感情方面嘅嘢啦。咁你就要真係小心啦。
So for those that are married or with somebody, be extra cautious this year. Communicate a little bit more because the stars are not in your alignment. It doesn't really help you. So because of that, you want to be extra cautious with your relationships.
係啦，事關嗰粒星入到你個命宮裏邊咧，咁就好易令到你啦，即係一個人啊、成啊，或者你會去啲好遠嘅地方，所以令到你同你嘅另外一半咧會分遠咗啦。
So you might notice that you may have to travel or separate from your significant other this year, and because of that, the distance can take a toll on your relationship. I'm not talking about traveling for fun, but for like other related matters that you can't avoid.
不過咁講財運咧，今年咧雖然話冇吉星，但係個財運都唔係話去到好差好差。咁實際上今年咧都屬於一個小財運嘅運年嚟嘅。
So, although we did tell you that there is no lucky stars in terms of wealth for you for earning like huge big money, right? And I did tell you to be cautious with how you're spending with the stocks and all that stuff. It's not exactly completely horrible for you in terms of wealth. You have a small little star that can help you stabilize it.
OK，咁今年嘅成年嘅大約啦 ，OK， 咁咧喺1、2月同2月咧都係普普通通嘅啫，平平穩穩嘅啫。
So, in terms of how the year will be for you, January and February, it'll just be regular, nonchalant, nothing really, surprising or special.
OK， 咁3、4、5月咧，咁你就有好大機會令到你有機會破財啦，同埋受傷嘅。
So, March, April, May is a couple of important months where you may most likely get hurt or lose money unexpectedly.
但係喺6、7、8月咧，咁就係基本上你入翻去一個類似一半係有吉一半有空嘅我哋個月份裏邊啦。
And June, July, August, you enter this situation where it's a little awkward, where it's like half good, half bad, where you have half a good star and half a bad star. So it really depends how it falls.
所以咧嗰幾個月咧都可以其實都可以逢凶化吉嘅。
So in terms of all the bad luck, those 3 months does help kind of like equalize it out.
但係9月就唔同啦。
But September is a little different.
事關9月嗰時咧，你有一個我哋叫吊客就入咗你個命宮裏邊啦。咁你有好大機會咧，令到你會有一個刑獄嘅我哋叫做即係俾人拉啦。OK， 咁咧你就留意下啦，盡量就唔好同人衝突，唔好同人鬧交同打交，就甚至乎話，就算人哋真係咁唔好彩嚟埋嚟打你屋企，你都好走啦。
So in September there is a kind of like, I guess,
打你啦。
Yeah, like I don't know how to really put it in words for you, but it's just that like September is not the great month for you. You will get hurt and you will get into a lot of like weird situations. But if you do our recommendation to you is do not fight back, do not argue, do not pick fights. If you can like walk away, just walk away. Even if you have to hold in your anger, it is not a good month for you because this month, the way it's written and the way it's explained is that you have a high chance of going to jail or incarcerated if you decide to even act on self-defense. So best to avoid any alterations.
係啦，點解咁講咧？事關頭先我先講緊你本身有一隻天狗入咗嚟啦，咁就算你打交 ，OK， 打你嗰個走咗啦。咁你要俾人打，但係轉頭咧就俾人拉咗你，咁所以頭先我先講話就係話黑狗偷食就白狗當災咁解啦。
Yeah, so just avoid it.
OK， 咁跟住其實咧其實係年尾都唔係咁靚嘅，好似10月、11月同12月啦，都要小心啲嘅。咁但係就未去到話9月嗰時咁麻煩。咁事關10月、11月同12月咧，都係有少少我哋叫做唔好嘅日子。即係唔好嘅升入咗個月份裏邊，所以咧都可以盡量的話就千祈唔好同人衝突啦。
So October, November, December isn't as bad as September, but it's still in that same element where you can easily get into fights, picking fights, just not good situations. So if you can, avoid any altercations that you can.
OK， 嗱咁我哋就講完牛咯喎，咁我而家就講老虎年啦，屬生肖老虎啦。
So now that we finished with talking about the year of the cow, we're going to move on to those born in the year of the tiger.
OK， 今年老虎年屬老虎嘅朋友咧，今年咧有叫做貴人年啦，同埋一個行財運嘅年啦。
So if you are born in the year of the tiger, this year is a good year for you.
OK， 咁點解我會咁講咧？試下你一粒都幾靚嘅星，嗰咧叫做有錢人嘅星啦。點解咧？即係有一個財富可以令到你有機會，令到有人幫到你揾到錢啦，同埋令到你個運勢會好啲嘅。
So you have 2 stars in your element this year. The first one is basically someone that it brings someone to you, a person that can help you in terms of many things. And the second star is wealth. So basically what's being brought to you is a wealthy person that will make you wealthier.
不過咧，空星咧都有啲麻煩嘅。點解咧？有一粒病符星啦，嗰個病符咧基本上咧係令到你個身體會有容易小病啊，身體唔係咁好啊，就有機會令到你有損失嘅某一樣嘅嘢啊咁啦。
So although you have two nice stars, there is also one you have to be very careful of. You do have a small little 6-star with you where you can, where it can cause you to have like a lot of little sicknesses where you don't feel super well, not 100%, but it's not like anything big sickness, just little ones.
OK， 所以嗱，我都建議你搭翻個3盒嘅。點解咧？試下你今年個星宿裏邊咧，個病符星咧都幾應下嘅。OK。
So, although it's little sicknesses this year, it's a lot of little sicknesses, the star that's bringing to you. So we do also recommend you to wear the 3 jade link that we have.
事關咧，你今年個身體咧比較弱啲啦。OK， 咁咧變相咧你玩任何嘅高危嘅運動啦，例如潛水啊、爬山啊，總之劇烈嘅運動，你都盡量可以的話就唔好去搏啦。
So because this star does make you weaker, health-wise, we are suggesting that if you are into, high energy, taking sports such as like diving or like scuba diving or like, boxing or something like that, please try to avoid it because it can lead, to even worse.
好啦，嗱咁我先講你最好帶個3盒啦。3盒嘅順次序咧就係豬啦、狗啦、馬啦，跟住加個八卦。
So the 3 jade link charm that we are going to recommend you for you to get is the pig goes first, then the dog, then the horse, and then lastly at the bottom you put the octagon 八卦。
事關啲朋友就話：哇，點解師傅我聽我哋3個生肖啫喎，點解都要咁麻煩咧？事關今年好坦白講，啲生肖咧基本上都係真係唔係咁靚嘅。
So we've only talked about 3 zodiacs so far, right? And for every zodiac, we've mentioned something bad. And that's because this year, to be very honest and very fair, it's not 100% great for every one of us.
OK， 咁喺工作上啦。
So now we're going to talk about in terms of career.
你有可能今年你有好多有機會去發展嘅。
So you may find yourself this year that you have a lot of opportunities to advance.
嗱，小欣我先講，你一開頭已經講啦，你今年咧有貴人幫你啦，同埋有一個財運嘅年啦。雖然話吉星唔多，但係你個今年本身你係啱啱入晒所有嘅我哋叫做咁啱同今年嗰個套嘅相合到。
So we mentioned before previously that there's 2 stars in your alignment, right? And it's basically bringing you someone who is wealthy and of power, and that can help you. So for you, luckily this year, everything kind of like is in an alignment for you in terms of your career, where you can find yourself advancing very well.
係啦，所以今年咧你有機會咧就會轉新嘅工作啦，或者自己做生意會有一個新嘅發展啦。
And if you have your own business this year, you may realize that there are more opportunities. And if you are looking for a new career or a new, position, you may find yourself being able to do that and climbing higher.
係啦，所以今年嘅財運咧，如果你識點樣去控制翻佢好啲嘅話咧，即係點樣去投資或者點樣去小心去運用你嘅錢嘅話咧，你今年個財運都應該唔錯嘅，幾好。
So if you are careful with how you are, using your funds and how you are saving or etc. or even playing in the stock markets, you will realize that in terms of wealth this year, it's not bad for you at all.
係啦，咁今年咧基本上咧屬虎嘅朋友咧個運勢咧就唔係咁差嘅，除咗係即係容易病啲之外，咁喺感情方面咧就冇乜大起大落啦。
So you realize that if you're born in the year of the tiger this year, other than feeling like the little sicknesses here and there, there's nothing really drastically that's going to change. Nothing like, horrible is going to happen in terms, and romance is just going to be like so-so. Nothing too great, nothing too bad.
OK， 嗱咁又講啊，即係跟住嚟緊嗰年嘅12個月裏邊嘅運程啦。OK， 咁喺1同2月咧都係運程都係普普通通嘅啫。
So we're going to talk about kind of like your luck and situation for the months like I did in previous 2. So for January and February, it's going to be just normal, nothing too special.
OK， 咁各位聽眾，你聽我知道我係講緊廣東話，咁就係你明白係講緊正月啦。但係阿女用緊英文講，咁你如果聽英文嘅朋友就要知道，你要將佢轉翻去中國嘅曆啦。
Right. So just to reiterate, right, the months that I'm mentioning is not the actual months that Paul Steve was mentioning. The months that we're mentioning are the Chinese calendar months. So if I'm saying February, you need to check the Chinese calendar when February is, because our February is not the same as the Chinese calendar for February.
係啦，OK，咁講個3月同4月咯喎，咁咧就身體咧就比較真係弱啲啦，OK，咁咧就每一樣嘢都要小心啲啦。
So March and April, be very, very mindful of your body. That's where it's gonna hit you the hardest, where you will feel the weakest and the most sick.
OK，咁啊到5月同6月咯噃，個病情咧就如果真係咁唔好彩，真係鄭佬驗到病咁講啊，一中咗身體唔舒服都好啦，唔緊要嘅。5、6月開始咧就最後一個轉翻轉頭就會開始慢慢會好翻㗎啦。
So if you are unlucky and you actually get sick or pretty sick in March and April, May and June is where things are going to turn around. You will realize that you're slowly actually getting better and that the sicknesses that you had, they're going away.
OK，咁跟住到7月、8月、9月、10月同11月同12月咁多月咧都 OK 啦。點解咧？我頭先講你本身今年有一個貴人同埋有一個財運，咁跟住咧每一樣嘢都會好順啦，去得會好好啦，咁啲財會提升得都幾快下嘅。
So basically, any month from September on until the next new year, from September to December, you will realize things are going great. You know, your opportunities are opening up. And that's because we did mention again, right, that you have that one lucky star, the 2 lucky stars, the one with the one person who's really rich and powerful who can help you along with your career. You will realize those months you're just going to fly right through.
OK，嗱，咁屬虎嘅朋友咧，今年咧，除咗係個身體會生啲之外，其餘嘅都幾好㗎，唔錯嘅。
So you will realize that everything for you this year, if you're born in the year of Tiger, it's not bad at all. Other than a little bit sicknesses here and there, you will realize everything is going very smoothly.